All right, witches, got my day 26 going, and you don't actually have to sit and look at me talk the whole time. What I'm going to be doing right now is making my Morrigan loose incense that I burn. So what I have here, because I'm super freaking lazy, is the cup part to a bullet blender thing. And that's what I'm going to make it in, because I'm not going to sit there after I've touched all the ingredients anyway, and even grown and harvested some of them on my own. I'm not going to sit there and grind it with a mortar and pestle when I can do it this way, and it burns a lot better, in my opinion, when it's more fine. So the first thing is the actual incense. What I'm going to use today is dragon's blood to go along with the next ingredient, which is dehydrated blood oranges. So on the east coast of the United States, these are not available all the time. Go figure, because they are not a, locally grown thing. We only get them when we get them. So whenever I see them in the store, I buy a million of them, eat or juice half of them, and then dehydrate the rest. So as I break them up, I'm obviously adding intention. This is in my warrior protection Morrigan incense that I light in my house all the time. There doesn't have to be anything going on, but your house can always use protecting from the inside out. Sometimes I'll even walk this around the outside and kind of smudge it, if you will. There is some sage in it, so I find that that's okay. Then I have some dried lavender flower. That can go on in there too. And here is some sage that I grew. It's actually purple sage, not white sage, but I find that it is just as cleansing and just as protecting. So now I have some red rose petals for color, because Morrigan, red, hello. And now these are Palo Santo cones that I enjoy. I love them. I get them from my local metaphysical shop, and because of life, sometimes they get all busted up and they're no longer cones. So I add them to this when I have them. When I don't, I might shave off a piece of a stick, a Palo Santo stick, and use that. Now what I have over here is lavender stems, which I don't think a lot of people use magically, but I think they smell great. And it goes along with the lavender flower that I have put in. I just kind of slide my fingers down and get as much of it off as I can. That's not working well. I'm going to do it on the tray and probably just dump it in there. The stems, I guess you can put them in there if you feel like it, but I just don't. God, I can smell it. It's so good. Anyway, so that's on the tray there. And what I have here, and I'm not going to use all of this, is some loose rosemary that has been dried, also grown on my own garden. And I'm going to strip that right here on the tray, just because I'm easier right now. And then put it right on in there after I kind of rub it through my hands. This is the only thing I like to kind of do with my hands for this, with the exception of the Incense. So this thing's kind of cool. I got this at a thrift store. And because of the tree on it, it funnels everything one way. So any scraps left, you can just slide on down. So here we have that. And at this point, this is where I add some of my intention, where I would do the hand rubbing thing, get the energy. All right, so that's the energy of protection. Then this crazy thing. Now, obviously, if you have something like this, you have to designate a blade, the top or whatever, and a certain cup for incense only, because you don't want to use food, because it never really comes out because of the resin. Then I shake it up inside, just so it's not in layers. And then you pop it right on the thing. Oh my God, did this thing seriously just break during this? And it fucking did. Damn it. Oh well. It probably got pretty mixed up. Yeah, that sucks ass. Oh well. Guess I got cocky saying I didn't need to use a mortar and pestle. So I'm gonna get that and at least break it up a little bit. Damn it, trying to show off in a video and shit don't cooperate. So most of it looks like it kind of got down. I'm gonna mortar and pestle the crap out of it right now. Maybe even speed some of this up, edit some of it out because that was embarrassing. So, yeah, now I have to replace that blade. I'm totally irritated. Something that I do sometimes is take all the ingredients minus the dragon's blood and just put it in a bowl, put it in a sachet bag or something like that, and just take it to work. Because all of the ingredients smell great, even if they're not blended together, and even if you don't burn them. My mother would call that potpourri. I call it good Morrigan smelly stuff. So, that's not exactly the consistency that I like it, but I'll have to change the blade later. So now I'm going to show you how I burn it using white rice ash. And this is possibly new to some people, but white rice ash is something that I learned about on the YouTubes, and it was on a, I want to say it was a Christian guy's channel talking about the stuff they do in Mass and stuff like that. So white rice ash you can get on Amazon, that's where I got it, and you just kind of move it out of the way. There's too much in here actually. This is a combination of ash from the incense and the white rice ash. So you kind of move it to the side, and that's not how you're supposed to use incense tongs, but that's what I just did. And then you get your coal disc. There, that's how you're supposed to use the incense tongs. Shit, I can't even handle myself today. All right, light your coal disc. And if you've never used a coal disc before, or you just want me to talk to you about it, you might be able to see the little ripply little flame things going across it. I like to wait to keep lighting it until I have all of that, as much of that as I can. Then I kind of blow on it myself and get the nice red color. Still sprinkly hot over here. So then what you can do, you put it down in the little divot you created, and now there's two things you can do here. You can either cover the coal disc up with a thin layer of the ash, or put the incense directly on it. Because I want it to burn fast for the video, I'm going to put it directly on it. And you can touch it with your hands. My regular thing has a little spoon that I use. I'm going to put it directly on so you can see the smoke. Now, the good thing about the white rice ash is that once all the incense has burned up, it just becomes ash and it just adds to the fold. I have this, I think I bought, I don't even know what it was. It was a small bag like this of the white rice ash. And now I have this huge Tupperware container full of extra ash. Like say if I get an extra incense cauldron or an incense burner or whatever I want to do with it. And I just keep adding to it with the ash that has burned. Oh God, and you can really smell the rosemary. You can really smell the dragon's blood. It is so, it puts the oomph in you. That's why I call it like a Morrigan warrior protection incense. And I'm always reminded when I make this, I mean, I've been making it for a couple years now, but whenever I heard Joey Morris say sword over shield, shield over arm, arm over heart, this just reminds me of that. You standing resolutely, being yourself, protecting your spirit, protecting your goddess, protecting your land, protecting your family, protecting your home, protecting your cat or dog or whatever it is that you want to protect. And so I will burn this on my altar. Usually I put it behind her for effect. for effect with the smoke rising behind my goddess statue. And that's how I make it. And I thoroughly enjoy that, and I cannot wait to burn it on up, my whole house. Oh, this is just a crappy little jar that I will add this to for keeping, because you know you want something that has a good seal on it for all those herbs, and particularly the resin, that if it gets too dry it'll get all smoky burny, and I don't like that. All right, there you go, Morrigan Warrior Incense.